What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Squish, and today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us headed to Halloween Horror Nights 2023. We got an announcement. Oh yeah. Alright, y'all, we finally got an announcement for Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not excited about that at all. Why would you think that? So it was announced on June 15th, which is today as I'm filming this, that The Last of Us will be at Halloween Horror Nights. Now this is huge for the park, as The Last of Us is definitely having a moment these days. But before we get into the details, if you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like horror movies, Halloween Horror Nights, and pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. As I said previously, The Last of Us has been having like a moment this year with the release of the show on HBO Max. Your boy Pedro Pascal and his mustache is slowly taking over the world, so it was kind of a no-brainer for this property to make it to the event this year. After all, we have seen it on both spec maps for this year. If you've been living under a rock and aren't familiar with The Last of Us, it's a story set in a post-apocalyptic world where humans are turning into these mutated fungus-style zombies. You're following Joel, a smuggler, who is tasked with taking Ellie across the United States in this mushroom fungus world. Let's take a look at the trailer that Halloween Horror Nights dropped to go alongside this announcement. You and your squad will encounter the haunting and overgrown world of Naughty Dog's video game in a brand new, terrifying way. As you make your way through an abandoned Pittsburgh, join Joel and Ellie and don't make a sound if you want to survive clickers, hunters, and more. No matter what, keep finding something to fight for. So we're continuing the theme of the squad from last year's event, where we had people like the Snacker and the Skeptic, and eventually, throughout watching all of their individual trailers, they met up at the event where, it went down. It got crazy, it got spooky, right? So I'm assuming that we're gonna do something like that again, where all these videos will combine and squish together, if you will. So in this trailer, we have this girl, she's sitting in the living room by herself, and she's playing The Last of Us video game. But she's also having a little video call with two friends. Now, obviously, she's not really paying attention to her friends too much, who are rattling on about whatever, because she's fighting mushrooms, okay? But if you listen to the conversation that these two friends are having over the video call, the guy, he's like, hey, y'all, the legend is real. And the girl's like, oh my God, why are you so obsessed with this? Going on and on. And then he proceeds to say, if you pause the video at 32 seconds, and then boom, some cryptic symbols show up on the laptop, and then power goes out. So your girl that's in the house is like, okay, freaking out. And then all of a sudden she hears clicking, like clickers do from The Last of Us, and sure enough, you see their little shadows coming around the corner. She gets a text message making her phone vibrate, which she's freaking out because the clickers could hear that, and then boom, the lights come back on, and the clickers are gone, and all seems well. Now, going back to the conversation that these friends are having in the chat, the guy is saying the legend is real, and proceeds to say that if you pause the video at 32 seconds, and so this got my brain going, because Halloween Horror Nights loves to put up these cryptic videos and get everybody all riled up. So I pulled up the video that they released a while back called Do Not Watch, where you have this Halloween Horror Nights podcaster, and she's doing some Blair Witch things, she's getting a little freaky, and I paused it at 32 seconds to watch. I saw nothing. Now, somebody that's way more intense and can nitpick things may have seen something a little bit more, but from the image itself, it just looked like the girl sitting at her desk podcasting with a very dark black background that has a lot of shadows and things, but I couldn't really pick anything out of it. The only thing that I could really pick up from this 32-second mark is the fact that she says ignore the signs. Now, if you go back a little bit and listen to her full sentence, she says, what happens to those that ignore the signs and go alone? So that's obviously referring to this tagline that they've had the last couple of years, never go alone. So at the actual 32 mark, the only thing that she's really saying is ignore the signs, which, I felt like was trolling, because if we know anything about this event and the people behind all the social media, is they love to troll, which I both love and hate. But I was like, okay, so are they telling you, like, ignore the signs? Is that what they're saying? Or is it like reverse psychology where they're saying that? Because there's actually, I don't know. I couldn't pull anything from this tidbit, so I don't even know why we're talking about it now. I don't know. I just like to talk about these things with y'all. There are so many people that notice details that I don't even pick up. Sometimes I pick up on stuff, 9 times out of 10, they're just conspiracy theories that are just kind of funny and don't really turn into anything. And those are really fun too. So if you picked up anything from this 32-second mark, leave it down in the comments below because I would love to know what you guys think about this. So this house is going to be following the video game rather than the show. And that's why when you see the Naughty Dog name in the description, that's referring to the people that produce the game. Now, I'm not a gamer. I do love the show Last of Us, so I really can't comment too much on what this is really going to be like, as I never played it. You know, I've heard rumblings online and talked to different people, and I know a lot of people are really, really excited for this house, specifically the fact that it is following the video game. And from what I understand, they're pretty similar. Your main storyline and characters are pretty spot on. There's just minor differences where the show obviously is gonna make a bigger story of certain characters and situations. And even though I haven't played the game and don't know much about it, I am very excited that they chose to follow the game because, to be honest, the show is not really scary. It's more of like a character show. And if you look at other zombie shows, things like The Walking Dead, I guess you could technically say the same thing. It's a character-driven show. It's not really about the horror. But I feel like The Walking Dead definitely delved into the gore and the scares a little bit more than The Last of Us. Whereas The Last of Us is just like, hey, we're gonna thirst after Pedro Pascal, and then we're gonna make you cry while listening to Linda Ronstadt. I love the design of the zombies, or the clickers as they're called in this show. They're just these big fungus mushroom monsters, and it's just so different from anything you've ever seen in the zombie genre. So that was one complaint I always had watching the show. Like, I love this show, I love these characters. I'm literally crying over these people that I've only spent one episode with. But I was like, I want more mushroom zombies. Give me more. Like, they're so cool looking. I need more of them. So hopefully the video game has that. Therefore, this house will have more mushroom zombies, because that's what we're here for. An interesting thing about this house is that it is a house based off of a video game, which we really haven't seen at the event too much. This will actually be the third house featured at the event that is based off of a video game, the previous two being Welcome to Silent Hill in 2012 and Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City in 2013. So, you know, although I'm not a gamer, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, we're trying something a little different here, so I can respect that. And while I am hopeful that following the video game will bring more scares and clickers into this house, like I mentioned in my spec map video, I think we need to have a moment of silence for the mustache. That beautiful, beautiful mustache that we won't see in this house. So, like I said, y'all put your fake mustaches in your bags when you go to the park, because we're slapping those bad boys on and we're going into this house and it's gonna be a good time. While I am very excited to finally have an announcement from Halloween Horror Nights, I gotta say this one's a meh to me, just because, I don't know, again, I've never played the video game, and I think that the show is more of like a drama than it is scary. It's kind of hard for me to get hyped over this one. So let me know in the comments if you're excited about this one. What's your thoughts? How are you feeling about this one? So that's it, y'all. It is mid-June. We have 2 houses down for Halloween Horror Nights 23, and I cannot wait to see what else gets added to this lineup. And if you want to stay up to date with all the announcements that Halloween Horror Nights is dropping for this year, definitely follow the channel, because we will be making videos on every announcement, every house, every scare zone. I'm gonna give you all the juicy details, so you definitely want to stick around. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. It definitely helps out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when new videos hit the channel. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you nerds in the fog!